Patrick Larimore, UCLA Sophomore linebacker, again with us. What is it? Bronco Nagurski Player of the Week?
I
think that's what you won.
I'm not sure.
Pretty exciting award for a pretty young player.
Yeah, it's nice to win that award, but I'm just glad we came out with a win against Houston, and I couldn't have gotten this award without my teammates. The D-line played a great game. They were getting tons of penetration, lots of hit on the quarterback, and the secondary also played a great game, breaking up balls and stuff.
Against Houston in that pass offense, you guys seemed a lot more creative maybe than you've been the previous two games, and definitely a lot of stunts, a lot of delayed blitzing.
Yeah.
Was it a little more fun to play that kind of game when you know that they're kind of guessing on every play?
Definitely the new game plan caused some confusion in their offense, and we had a lot of new stunts and stuff that were fun, especially for me at linebacker. A lot of it was linebackers dropping in and out and just dropping defensive tackles in and out. It was definitely fun when we started teeing off.
Did you kind of see them kind of wilt under that pressure? They seemed by the middle of the second quarter they had no idea what to do.
Yeah, definitely towards the end of the first half, and definitely towards the end of the game, they were starting to wilt. And they're a good team with a lot of good players, but I think our scheme got after them a little bit and came out and executed.
Is that something that you want to see more of? That kind of aggressive, even the schematically, going to the 3-3-5 sometimes, or going, starting off the game in a 3-5 against them because they don't have a tight end. Do you want to see more of that?
Definitely, I like the new stuff we had going in, but it's all dependent upon the team. Houston didn't run a tight end, Texas does, so that changes up some stuff for us. But I like the creativity in the scheme we had. I think it worked really well. I think Bill did a great job.
As a football player, I'm sure you played your entire life. How hard is it to balance, I guess, adjusting to what they do, and knowing that they're not going to have that a 3-3, or rather Texas is going to have a tight end, so you're not going to go in the 3-5, as opposed to doing what you guys do and kind of forcing their hand. Is it a delicate balance to say, you don't want to take too many risks, but you want to take just enough that they're thrown off?
Right. I think last week we took a lot of risks, but also we practiced it a lot coming in. So we were really on our game, in terms of how to execute against different formations and stuff.
Calculated risks.
Right. So I think it is definitely a balance, though, because you can't just go out and go just do all kinds of crazy new stuff, because we have to learn it all in like two or 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a delicate balance.
You talk about that a little bit. The idea of going week to week. You have your base. You have all the kind of stuff that you learned 2 months ago, 3, 4, 5 months ago. How important is it to really be in it during a week of practice? You saw what happened against Stanford. It didn't look like you guys were that in it. Against Houston, you obviously were. This week, great week of practice. Do you kind of feel like you guys are maybe a little more in it now than you were a little bit earlier?
I definitely think we've been in it as opposed to Stanford week, but some part of it is just being able to adjust all your plays that you ran in camp to new formations and stuff.
Okay.
But with new formations and new schemes, it's a lot of learning and a lot of new stuff's going in. So it's definitely, sometimes it's hard and challenging in 2 days to get all of it through, all the checks in your head down and adjustments.
Patrick, last couple things I have for you. If you talk to the UCLA fans on the message boards and on the comment boards and all that kind of stuff, you're the next Brian Urlacher combined with Mike Singletary combined with Dick Butkus. And yet I think admittedly that there's more room for improvement for you. What do you think you've done so far? I know you're going to tell me you haven't done anything,
right,
but what do you think you have been able to improve upon, and what do you still think you have left just in the course of this year?
I think the one thing I showed is I can command the defense in a game.
Okay.
That was one thing I wanted to prove, is that I've never started before Kansas State, and coming in big environment, just been able to set the fronts and play a solid game and just get to my fits. And as the season's come on, 3 games under my belt, I feel like I've started to slow down, and I obviously have room for improvement. Everywhere, pass coverage. I can improve everywhere, I feel like, and I'm glad I have more time here to improve. But I think I've shown that I've been able to command the defense, make all the checks, get us into different plays, and that's the biggest thing.
Has the game slowed down for you?
Definitely. Coming into the Houston game, it definitely has slowed down. Kansas State, it was a little fast sometimes. Huge crowd, first game, but it's starting to slow down now. I feel a lot more comfortable out there.
Now you're going to Texas, though. 100,000, a little different than
definitely.
The 50 or so at the Rose Bowl.
Right.
What's that going to be like for you? I mean, everyone wants that stage, but what is it going to be like for you specifically?
I think coming in and playing this is week 4, it's definitely an advantage. I've had time to get more games under my belt and time to slow it down, and I just got to take the crowd out of my head. Once the ball snaps, it's just 11 on 11. So
you're excited? You ready?
Very excited. It's going to be an awesome game. You live to play in these games.
Good stuff. Patrick Larimore, UCLA Sophomore linebacker, Bronco Nagurski Player of the Week against Houston. We'll see what you can do against Texas now.
Right.
Good stuff, man.